Years of fighting, my illness had taken their toll. Every day felt like a battle just to breathe, just to move. My body was failing me slowly but surely. Hope had become a fragile, distant thing, a whisper I barely dared to hear. I was tired, so deeply tired, but I couldn't give up. I couldn't let go of the faint possibility of a future. Then the call came. I was high on the transplant list. A surge of joy, so powerful it almost knocked me over, filled me. It was a true glimmer of hope, a promise of a new life. I imagined walking freely, feeling strong, living the life I had only dreamed of. This was my chance, my absolute last chance. My sister, Clara, was always there. She offered unwavering support, or so it seemed. She would bring me food, help me with my appointments. But sometimes she'd forget my medication or suggest I could skip a bland meal for something richer. I brushed it off, thinking she just wanted to cheer me up. I trusted her completely. During my checkups, the transplant team started asking odd questions. They mentioned compliance and reliability. I felt a prickle of confusion. I always followed my regimen perfectly. I assured them there were no issues, dismissing it as a misunderstanding. They nodded, but their eyes held a slight, unsettling doubt. Then came the first undeniable hint of trouble. A crucial test result, vital for my transplant evaluation, went missing. Or maybe it was delayed. The clinic couldn't explain it. A cold knot formed in my stomach. This wasn't just a misunderstanding anymore. A growing sense of unease settled over me. The devastating news arrived like a punch to the gut. I was removed from the transplant list. The team cited noncompliance and unsuitability. They were evasive, offering vague reasons I couldn't understand. My world collapsed into an abyss of despair. The last glimmer of hope was extinguished, leaving me in darkness. I confronted Clara, my voice raw with grief. She listened, her eyes wide with feigned sympathy. She hugged me, stroking my hair, then suggested gently that my illness was making me paranoid. She said I was overthinking things, that the doctors must have had a good reason. Her words felt like a cold, sharp blade. My health rapidly deteriorated. My body, already so weak, began to give up. Family rallied around me, but Clara's support felt increasingly hollow. Her comforting words seemed rehearsed, her actions performative. I watched her, wondering if I was truly just paranoid or if something darker was at play. Despite my profound physical weakness, a small, misplaced document on my bedside table caught my eye. It was a copy of my medical history, but a page seemed out of order. Then, a hushed comment I'd overheard Clara make to a family friend about my forgetfulness resurfaced. A cold, hard suspicion ignited within me. I knew I was fading, but I couldn't die without knowing the truth. A secret, desperate decision formed in my mind. I would investigate. I would find out why I was removed from the list, no matter how little time I had left. This faint hope, this need for truth, became my last reason to fight. I began my secret work. Every day I gathered my strength for a few precious hours. I looked at old papers, made quiet calls to former nurses. It was slow, hard work, but a small flame of purpose burned inside me. I felt a mix of fear and determination, knowing this was my last chance for truth. Then I found it. Hidden among my official documents, a log of my medication. Dates were changed, doses altered. Fabricated notes about missed appointments appeared. My hands trembled. This was not a mistake. This was deliberate. A cold dread seeped into my bones, chilling me to my core. My mind reeled. Who could do this? Only Clara had such access, such opportunity. A memory flashed, Clara, always so eager to help with my paperwork, organizing my files. The pieces clicked into place. The realization hit me like a physical blow. My own sister. The betrayal was crushing, stealing my breath. I confronted Clara. My voice was weak, but my resolve was strong. She denied everything at first, her eyes wide and innocent. But as I laid out the evidence, her mask slipped. A venomous look replaced her usual sweetness. She confessed, her words laced with bitter jealousy, about inheritance, about attention. My heart shattered into a million pieces. Devastated but fueled by a fierce need for justice, I focused my remaining energy. I meticulously documented every piece of evidence, every altered date, every forged signature. My fingers ached, my body screamed for rest, but I pushed through. I had to expose her. I had to clear my name, no matter the cost. I reached out to a trusted doctor, then a lawyer. It was hard to speak, to share such a dark secret about my own family. They listened, initially with disbelief, then with shock. As I presented my evidence, their expressions changed to outrage. I felt a tiny flicker of hope that someone believed me, that justice might be possible. The day came for the truth to be revealed. I recorded a statement, my voice frail but clear. I spoke of the sabotage, the stolen hope, the profound betrayal. It was broadcast, and the world learned what Clara had done. My name was cleared. A wave of exhaustion, but also a strange peace, washed over me. The repercussions for Clara were swift. Legal action began. Family members, once blind, now saw her true nature. They turned away. Her world crumbled. I watched, not with joy, but with a heavy heart. She had condemned me, and now she faced her own reckoning. It was a calculated downfall, a just consequence. I felt a profound sense of vindication. My truth was out, but the cost was immense. My body continued its decline. The transplant was a lost dream. Yet I found a measure of peace. I had fought for my dignity, for my name. I had reclaimed my story, even as my time grew short. My fight was ending. I may not have received my second chance at life, but I had exposed evil. My legacy would be one of truth, of fighting against the darkest betrayal. I hoped my story would show others the strength of the human spirit. I closed my eyes, a quiet understanding settling over me. I was at peace.